Hallelujah-YAHWEH. Praise YHWH. In the name of the Son, the mighty God, YHWH, Beit Noon Sophie, YHWH, Selah. Welcome to Black Gods of Yahweh Media. The first thing I want to say is, oh glory, how wonderful it is not to have to wonder that you are chosen, but Yahweh sends signs and wonders to reassure you that you are chosen. I mean, isn't that a beautiful thing? To know that. And it's such a blessing. And I just wanted to say that to get that out of the way, because I'm coming to you with a very disturbing story and reality. I was on my YouTube timeline and I was watching an episode from a particular pro-Black site, which talks about news that goes on in our world. And there's this story that's coming out of Florida, and you can only get that story on the Miami Herald. I've tried to research it, and it's being suppressed in the mainstream media. And most outlets are not running the story. But there was a so-called Black child who is true Israel, whose name was Israel, was mysteriously found dead after a visit to the hospital. It was given, the baby was given back to its parents, missing eyes and organs. Now, sometimes we forget how gruesome things are when they happen to us and what the enemy actually does. Can you imagine taking your infant to the hospital and that infant is coming back to you dead with missing eyes and organs? You know, we have a saying, follow the money. In this case, follow the end result. What happened to that child when they received their infant back? It was missing eyes and organs. So you can't tell me that something wasn't done either not to medically assist the child or to induce the child's death. I just don't believe it. I mean, just for a second, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I have young children. Just imagine, how do you have a funeral with your infant's eyes removed and organs removed? Like I said, you can only find this story. You have to subscribe to Miami Herald, and it happened back in April. And the hospital put a restraining order on the mother. Can you just listen to how impossible this is? You want information about your child, and they put a restraining order on the mother and threatened to sue the mother. Can you believe? Now, sometimes, like I said, we kind of get deceived by the fact that we're still being mistreated the most evilest ways possible. Now, this is unimaginably horrible, but there is a message in all things, whether it's good, whether it's bad. This is obviously no solace to the parents. There's a clear message that I got out of it. The child's name was Israel. True Israel is blind and dead. That's the message that I got from it. True Israel is blind of the fact of who they are and whom to turn to receive salvation and empowerment. True Israel is still blind to who their enemy is and what they're capable of. The so-called African American is still under the curse of Dueteronomy until he and she turns to Yahweh and his laws. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 28, 32 through 34. Deuteronomy 28, 32 through 34. And thy sons and daughters shall be given unto another people, We know this happened in slavery, but I'm going to continue on with something. And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hands. No might. You cry and you pray to Jesus, to a false image. You complain to politicians. You riot and your condition don't change. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. Everything you create, it gets devoured by another people. Look at rap, hip hop, and R&B. It was devoured by corporations and those who control nations. Now they've changed your art form, and there's no positivity in it whatsoever. Look and Google Black inventors, and you will see a list and a host of Black men and Black women who have created things in America, inventions that they don't get credit for or recognition for. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation where thou know it not eat it up. Like I said, still reading 33, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Always. Doesn't matter what happens, always. From the time you was cursed from Dueteronomy for your ancestors failing to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh until now, always. Verse 34, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. We get mad about everything. We get mad about being mistreated on our job. We get mad about being killed in the street. We get mad about gentrification. We get mad about how the president that you voted for, Biden, is about to give reparations to illegals that you deserve and you fought for and you created a dynamic to speak about. And getting mad doesn't change none of our reality. And that's what the scripture says. Now, let's go back to this particular situation. They can't do this to another race with a nation behind them. You can't, in America, take somebody from Saudi Arabia, someone from Japan, even somebody from Africa or Spain. You can't take their child, cut their eyes out in America, take their organs, have the law tell them they can't go to the hospital, put a restraining order on them, and get away with it. Why can't you do this? A lot of people don't understand. Because they have a nation behind them that backs them. In the age of social media, these other groups, even though they come to America to get wealthy, they have a nation behind them. And you would feel the full might of that nation if somebody from Saudi Arabia, Japan, or even West Africa, someone from any other country that has a nation behind them. Now, let's find out why you can do that to the so-called African American that's true Israel. We're going to go to Genesis 15 and 13. You already know about this. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, know of a surety thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. Shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. See, you don't own no part of this land. You don't control no wealth in it. You don't control the military. You don't control politics. You don't control the judicial system. You don't even control entertainment. You just work in it. You don't control corporate America, nothing. So you exist in a land that is not yours. The so-called African American is the only group of people that live in a country that have no control, don't import, don't export anything, has no might in their hand. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So that's all you do. You as a service to people of other nations. And you're being afflicted still today. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing. So when looking at that, let's talk about chattel slavery, which is already passed in a certain way, except in prison. In prison is free labor. You have the school to prison pipeline. You have our people that go from the ghetto into the hood straight to prison. So you're still not free. You have medical apartheid. Our children are being dissected for money, research, and to save the lives of people from other nations. Right now, China is the biggest market for selling organs. I mean, there's babies over there in other parts of that area who are already being dissected and eyes pulled out. So other nations and other countries and other wealthy people are having this done to children. Now, I'm going to give you a little thought. It's not out of the realm of possibility that you are going to see this happen more often and more often about children from third world countries and Black American children showing up dead in these medical facilities and their organs removed. I mean, when I was researching this particular situation that came up on my YouTube timeline, this has also happened to adults too. Organs are being removed without the consent of anybody surviving relative. You're going to see this happen more often, possibly, to our people in America. And what's going to happen is they're going to roll out your bootleg Black politicians and celebrities and entertainers and talking heads in the media to tell you stop living in the past. All of this is over. Why are you being paranoid? The same thing you see about the jab, how our people don't want to take it. And they're being demonized for it. Because they're going to continue to do that. While I'm at it, I have a little message for the anti-Bible pro-Blacks. I was thinking about you guys. So spread the word to them. I often hear, why do you guys believe in the Bible and Christianity? Well, first and foremost, the Bible has nothing to do with Christianity. If you read the Bible, you will come to understand that it is talking about Israel. The word Christian means Christ-like, and you can't find that word in the King James Bible. That was a made-up, man-made word. So you have a situation in which our people being misled by a false God and being told that a false people is the true people of God. So we're going to go to Romans 9:26. We're going to go to Romans 9:26 in your King James Bible. Romans 9:26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God, Yahweh. So we grew up in the church being told that we was the curse of Ham, being told that another people was the chosen people. And now in those same places, all over America, in the cities, across the world, people are waking up to the fact and saying that we are the true Israelites of the Bible. So that's prophecy playing out. So when somebody tells you, why do you believe in the Bible? Look what Christianity has done for us. It's a false religion and it's done nothing for us. We've been misled. You can take something that's correct. You can add a lot of falsehood to it, change the imagery of it, and it's a totally different matter. It's totally changed. It's not the same anymore. That's what's happened to us. This Bible is your inheritance. but it speaks about laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. It does not speak about you following any denomination and you worshiping a false image and being told that a false people is the chosen people of God, Yahweh. Once again, this is a very sad story, but it just solidifies the situation that we still find ourselves in and how the message that I receive, as horrible as it is, I mean, it hurt my soul, but Israel is blind and dead. That child's name was Israel, and the child's eyes was removed and organs removed. This is Black Gods of Yahweh Media. I want to say peace and Shabbat Shalom until the next video.